Hi, my name is Chris Blanton. I'm a student at the College of Education at Grand Canyon University. I am working on finishing my college degree after dropping out of college 30 years ago from UNC Charlotte. I have been a coach for the last 30 years and I really enjoy doing that. And I have substituted the last 2 years. I feel like I've been called on by God to become a full-time teacher in the classroom or in a gym class. I am currently the head men's soccer coach at Tri-County Early College in Murphy, North Carolina, and a husband to a pediatrician and a father of 4. The purpose of this video is to explain the depositions I possess that make me a great teacher in the classroom and what depositions I need to get stronger at before I enter the classroom as a full-time teacher. I would also like to explain what qualities that a professional educator should possess. The depositions I feel like I'm strongest at are advocacy. I'm such an advocate for my players and my students, and I always look for ways to improve the ways that the students are being taught, which includes doing everything I can to make sure to make them successful with their learning materials and their classroom environment. Dedication. I am very committed to being an educator and teaching and learning, being punctual and being professional with my appearance and the way I carry myself. I generally am a pretty optimistic guy, kind of a glass full kind of guy, glass half full. I genuinely believe that my students and their ability to learn and believe in my students and their ability to learn, and will do whatever it takes professionally within reason to make a commitment to the success of the students. Professional conduct. As I mentioned earlier, I try to set myself up for success with a positive and optimistic attitude, professional dress, and a dedication to the learning of the students. I try to make the best ethical decisions I can with the students' best interest in mind, and they always are watching me, so I try to set the best example I can in and out of the classroom. Curiosity. I am a big believer in critical thinking. I'm not teaching the kids necessarily what to think, but how to think. I feel like that is really lacking these days, and I want the kids to know how things work and why things work and why they are the way they are. I love to be a good storyteller. As a history nerd, I love telling stories about history. I hope to be a history teacher and tell them the stories of history and why they are important and how it can relate to today and what they can learn from it. I really want to make it interesting for the students. I think you can make any story interesting by teaching it the right way and a way that has the students involved and asking questions. Honestly, I like to think that I'm a man of integrity, which means that telling the truth, and this falls under deposition of honesty, and which can include being frank with a student or parent, being fair and transparent. I'm a big believer in transparency. The students should know where they stand and what they need to work on, so do the parents. I am also a big believer in communication. It's a big pet peeve of mine. I want to show the proper level of communications with the students the way I would want to be communicated with myself. It's the golden rule. Compassion. I also try to show empathy towards my students and players. We all have our own struggles, which we make mistakes and deserve to be treated with a little grace. I try to have meaningful conversations with students or my players when it's called for. I also like to actively engage with students and be supportive of them. Actively engaging with students is a great way to gain their trust. I want the students to feel that I have their best interests and well-being in mind. I also try to respect the diversity of others, which includes their backgrounds, social and economic status, race, religion, and abilities. As a father of children with IEPs, for various reasons, I have one in particular with autism. I appreciate when a teacher shows them respect and an understanding of what they're going through. We are all different, and that's okay. It makes the world go round. Some of the depositions I can work on are high expectations. I can be a little demanding at times and can forget that what are achievable goals and what are not. I do believe that all students can learn and achieve, but we need to work on, I do need to work on my expectations at times. Reflection, I sometimes forget to debrief, so to say, or on what I can do better myself to improve teaching and learning. I don't think that I'm always best at examining my own actions often enough. This is something I am trying to get better at. Self-reflection is self-reflection is important no matter what you do in life, and I try to work on that as well. And fairness is so important to the practice of teaching. I tell my kids sometimes that life isn't fair, but in the classroom, all students must be treated fairly. I do believe in equal opportunities for success of each of the students, but I also believe that you get what you put into it. I would like to say that I would maintain the proper standard of confidentiality, but I do think sometimes I need to work on this to make sure no mistakes are made in protecting the privacy of all students. My wife, being a doctor, must provide the confidentiality of her patients by law, and I want to make sure that I am conditioned to treat confidentiality with the utmost seriousness before I become a full-time teacher in a classroom, because I believe it is so important. Professional educators must demonstrate, the following qualities: a thoughtful understanding of the subject matter that they are teaching. It's hard to teach what you know little about. Be a reasonably effective communicator. Being a little patient with their students, and we all have good days and bad days. Organization and time management. There is only so much time in the day with students. Time must be used wisely, and that includes planning. Ethical conduct. There is no place in the classroom for an unethical teacher. A commitment to professional growth. Teachers must be humble and willing to grow in their profession, and they must be able to adopt and change as needed and adjust to different classroom dynamics. Overall, a professional educator must put the students first, because they are why we are there, and we got to think of what we can do to make a difference in these young people's lives. Thank you very much.